Hi, family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing great. And I hope you are enjoying these story times. Okay? Because, now a part of me, a little bit about myself. So, guys, let's talk about how my previous relationship was my test and my current one is my reward. Okay, so I hope you don't mind if I lean back. Lean back. Hey, lean back. Hey, hey, hey. So the reason why I say my previous relationship was a test and my current one is a reward is because of how I'm thriving, guys, how I'm happy, how I'm confident, how everything is just nothing is smooth sailing in life. We all have trials and tribulations, but I'm in a really good place. And yeah, so let's start with the fact that my ex was very insecure. He was very insecure about, I don't know, about life, or really I don't know, because it feels like it was emanating from his past. Maybe he went through something, I don't know, but he was very insecure, and he doubted himself, I think. And he had a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, and I think I was an outlet for him. He could take it out on me. And I'm not like, he didn't physically abuse me or anything like that, but I feel like emotionally I was also bullied. Okay, if you'll only understand if you actually watch the previous video when I talked about the fact that he said I was emotionally bullying him. So I was also emotionally bullied. So like for example, with my previous relationship, we could even go on for like weeks, like maybe 2 weeks without even talking to each other. Whereas with my current relationship, we have heated love disagreements. Okay. Um we we are very assertive. I think both of us are very assertive, and um but the one thing that we've never done, we've never gone, I think, past 3 hours without talking to each other, even if one is mad and whatever. We never go to bed mad at each other, and this was even before we got married. um we we both agreed that whenever we have a disagreement, you are not disagreeing with the person, you are disagreeing with the situation. So the matter at hand is to handle the situation instead of handling the person. So I think that's the difference, and it's very important in a relationship. If you want to keep a healthy and happy relationship, it's not about who wins the argument, who was right and who was wrong. It's about the situation. Did you handle it? Did you resolve it? So with my previous relationship, I feel like we wouldn't really resolve issues. We would argue about things, hang up the phone on each other, sweep things under the rug, and it was just an entire mess. But now it's like, okay, family meeting, there's a matter at hand. How we talk to each other is not in a loving way, and we'll resolve it. We try to talk about it, and if we cannot get a resolve, we consult. Look at how many Bibles we have, guys. We have a lot of, like, this is a very special Bible. This is just, by the way, my late uncle gifted me this Bible, so I still have it. But yeah, I have my Bible here. But we consult. Let me show you guys. Oh, we consult. We consult this big book over here. This was our wedding present. This Bible is. Can you see how big it is? So whenever we feel like, okay, we cannot reach like a consensus or anything like that, we we just pray about it. We read the word and pray about it. And then we make sure that we both okay. We go to bed, we sleep on it. The next day we'll come up with solutions. And I think with this, my relationship currently is that we are so confident and we trust each other, like we know that one wouldn't do anything to hurt the other. I wouldn't intentionally do something to hurt my husband, and I don't think he would do something intentionally that would hurt me. So that's very important. And I think when it comes to insecurities about cheating and all of that, sometimes it's all in your head. Um, like honestly, I've had people who even try to discourage like a long distance relationship, asking me, do you know what he's doing, where he's at? I might not know what he's doing, but I trust him enough, ukuthi he will not hurt me. And I remind him, ukuthi I believe that whenever you are away from home, you are representing me, and to the best of your ability. So you will not be doing anything that will embarrass me or put me to shame. So, and there's one thing I wanted to say, but I forgot what it is. Yeah, and I think with my previous relationship as well, um, we maybe we had similar personalities. I don't know, but I think both of us were those type of people where we're like, we don't care. Like if he doesn't call, I don't care. He doesn't care, that type of thing. And I don't think that's healthy. If you're in a relationship and that's happening, that is not healthy. And sometimes you stay in relationships because people approve of that relationship. So I think more than anything, for the both, okay, let me not speak for the both of us because I don't know what his thought process was or whatever it is he was going through. But I think for the longest time, I was not happy, but I stayed and pretended like I was happy, uh, because people loved him. Like I said in one of the videos, he was a man of God, like we met at church, he was part of the worship team. He was like one of those brothers that mothers prayed for their daughters, if it makes sense. So I just felt like if I left, maybe I'd be disappointing people and all of that. Because to be honest, if you've watched the previous video, when it comes to the whole why we broke up thing, I think it's something that we could have talked about and forgiven each other, but because it was a breaking point for me. I think I was harboring a lot of hurt and a lot of emotion. So um that led to the breakup. And another thing that I'm grateful for, with regards to my husband, like, my husband defends me like crazy, guys. Like, I think you cannot speak ill of me in the presence of my husband, because he'll put you to order real quick. um like some family members just come to me and tell me, like, afterwards, like, yo, this person, we're in a meeting, they were saying this, and then he was like, hey, not with my wife. If you have an issue with her, address it with her personally, but you will not bring her up. And if you have an issue, you must come to me. Ne? If there's something that you feel like my wife is not doing right as a wife, come to moi. Okay? So, and I really appreciated that, because I feel like, when you get married, um, you get married into a family, obviously, and these people are strangers to you. You still need to build a relationship with them. And people, your in-laws sometimes can be a bit judgmental, they can be a bit hard on you and all of that. So if you have a partner that's backing you, at least you know that, for me, it made the process easier, if it makes sense. um yeah, so that's basically my test and my reward. I'm really grateful, like, we broke up with that guy, because I really love my reward. Hey, I really love my reward. And initially, I always tell my cousin Ziti, fall in love with a man that loves you more than you love him. And the reason why I say that is because at the beginning of our relationship, I feel like he was more in love with me. Like, yo, this guy, I felt like he was worshipping the floor I walked on. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but he was very much in love with me. He was like, he enjoyed my company so much. Like, I felt like, yo, this guy is just too much. Like, yo, he's just too much. But what I've learned is that with women, um, the love, okay, at the beginning the love might be there, but as life goes on, you fall more in love with the person, because you start to realize a lot of things, or pick up certain things about their personality that just makes you more in love with your significant other. So I like, honestly, I wouldn't have prayed for a better husband, to be honest, and I cannot wait to grow old with him, you know. So yeah, for people who are in toxic relationships, in relationships where emotionally you are bullied, it can be that the female is bullying the man or vice versa. um find you in that mess. And I think the moment you find yourself in that mess, you'll be able to pick yourself up and leave. Because, to be honest, I think sometimes we force things, and sometimes we want projects and that are not meant for us, you know. So yeah, I hope this mini story time thing was fun to listen to. Yeah, so with that being said, family, may love, grace, and peace be unto you. Bye. Mwah.